Oh, they put the Indians on a reservation on the poorest land around, and it was a good joke that they found oil on the land and the Indians became millionaires. Money didn't mean the same to them, but they would go buy fancy cars and drive them until they ran out of gas, and then they'd just abandon them on the side of the road and go buy a new car.
That's funny. What state was this?
Oklahoma.
Wow. And then you wanted to add about Humpy and one more story about Humpy, and then you
Did I get that in there about
No.
feasting
Mm-mm.
at the powwow?
So feasting, they didn't have much food
Is this
for
still
long
going
periods of
on?
time.
Oh yeah, they could go without food for a long period of time, but when they had food, like at the powwows and stuff, they would eat until they couldn't eat anymore, and then they'd lay down and sleep it off, and when they'd wake up, they'd go get some more food until it was all gone. But one of my favorite stories was about Humpy, the one that I said had the humped back, and he was in the trading post one day, and Grandma caught my daddy with his hand in the candy jar. He was trying to steal a piece of candy.
Mm-hmm.
So she grabbed him and started to spank him, and Humpy interfered, and he took daddy and put him up on his shoulders and said, "You no spank him." He says, "Him heap good boy, you no spank him." He says, "Me have 2 boys, they heap good boys, me no spank him, and you no spank him." So she couldn't get any to spank you. So Daddy really did like Humpy. Humpy was a chief, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that before.
Oh, okay, no. So, and this was a Cherokee.
Cherokee, yeah.
Did Grandpa know that he was Cherokee? Did his mom tell him, or did she kind of hide it from him?
Well, they all knew she was Cherokee, but she pretended she didn't. They would come in, they would speak Cherokee to her, and she pretended she didn't understand them. Daddy spoke Cherokee when he was little because he spent so much time playing with the boys. They played with rocks a lot. And for that reason, I mean, Daddy got very, very accurate with rocks. They would kill rabbits and stuff with their rock throwing. And
like
then
with
later,
slingshots, or just throwing them?
I think throwing, I'm not sure. But anyway, then when he was a young man, a scout, for a baseball scout, came by and asked Daddy to go to the, I believe it was the Chicago Cubs, as a pitcher. Because Daddy could pitch very accurately, and he could pitch fast, he could pitch slow, he could put wherever the pros said to put it, he put it there. And he did it so fast that the catcher would sometimes come up and say, "Slow down, I can't take this, it's burning my hand." So anyway, Daddy said no, because he was in debt for putting in a crop of wheat. And so he had to stay there and farm the wheat. And so anyway, a year or 2 later, the scout came back by and said, "If you will come and pitch, you won't have to spend a season on the bench. We'll put you right in the mound. You'll start you out as the pitcher." And Daddy said he really did wish that he could go, but he was indebted and he couldn't do it. So he would have been a famous baseball player, I'm sure, there was no doubt.
So that's why he didn't play baseball? Or
Yeah.
his debt?
Yeah, wheat, farming wheat.
Huh.